Maya, gosh, it's less than 48 hours since that buzzer beater over Drake. Talk about how you guys were able to put that aside and focus so quickly, because the first half of this game, just on the stat sheet, it was just you guys controlled every facet of the game.
Yeah, Coach Mox and the coaching staff in general, they just said, like yesterday in film, they were like, hey, like I know from like highs like that, normally teams like the next day and the next game they have a low, and they really focus on, they're like, just get rest, let's go over their plays, walk through it, focus on detail, because UNI runs a lot of plays and you don't even know if they're going to actually run those plays against you. But we just came together. We know that in the Valley you have one day to prepare for the next game, so you can't really stay on a high that much because anyone can beat you any day.
Abby, career high points today. Talk about what it was like out there for you today.
Felt pretty good, but my teammates did a good job of getting me the ball in positions where I could score, just easy post-ups and stuff like that.
You guys committed 1 turnover in the first half. You committed 10 fewer turnovers during the game. Again, just talk about what's going on. What is it that you guys have that's just so focused, keeps you how you play such a clean game?
I mean, we talk about turnovers all the time and limiting them and just, cherishing every single possession. And I think, obviously, I didn't even know we had 1 turnover in the first half. That's awesome. But we all just try and take it to heart and take it personally and hold each other accountable. You
guys, let's see, 12 for 13 from the line. It just, it's every little thing that you look at when you try to determine, the important parts of winning a basketball game, with the exception of three-pointers. So that Northern Iowa likes to shoot the three. Talk about defending that today.
I felt like in the first half we could have done a much better job defending the three overall. That's mainly how they had all their points. But we can always do better. I think our gaps were good today. Our help side was really good. And I think our defense is improving each game. I felt like today, compared to the Drake game, we had more quarters put together for our defense, which was really good for us. I think the more we do that, the better we're going to be.
Kind of big picture, historically speaking in the Valley, it's you, it's Drake, and it's Northern Iowa that are always kind of vying for that top spot. To have a weekend like this where you secured those first 2 wins over that, just talk about overall importance of conference play, what this weekend means.
I think it gives us a lot of confidence for sure, but you also have to just be humble about it. That's what Coach Mock says, just stay humble and hungry, because SIU's been playing pretty good. I think they're playing Drake pretty close right now. So, like I say, like any team can beat you any night. You just have to come out and play, and it's whoever wants to play and win that day. So.
Let's see what it looks like. Hold on, see if I can get my counting right. 1, 2, 3 players in double figures. Jasmine had 9. I think, again, it's just there's so many places. You guys pride yourself on being a team where it's any given person on any given night that can beat you.
Definitely. I think that's something that makes our team really special is we have to be really hard to scout because you never know whose night it's going to be for girls in our team. And we're a very unselfish team, so if someone's hot, we give them the ball a lot. So.
Anything else?
Yeah, how do you feel about being in school now and playing and preparing for everything?
School definitely makes you more tired in ways, but you just have to, when it comes to basketball, it's also a relief. So it's nice when you get to practice and get away from the book sometimes. But yeah, that'll be different. We're not excited about it, but school first, then basketball. So.
We just need more snow.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I'm really, really proud of our team. Preparing for Drake and also on game day, the emotions were so high, the intensity was so high, even the crowd, and then after, even the way it ended, the magical ending, that was, just so emotional. So as a coach, you worry about, a drop off, just preparing for the next game, especially when you have a 1-day prep. But I'm just really happy. I think we showed some maturity. We were laser focused tonight. I mean, yeah, there were some defensive breakdowns, but basketball game is a game of mistakes. There's not going to ever be a perfect game. And I just liked how we rebounded from some of those breakdowns. And I thought we did a really good job just executing the game plan and doing what we wanted to do offensively. We had a lot of production off the bench. Everybody was unselfish. We made extra passes, 19 assists, 7 turnovers. So I'm just really proud of how we came out.
Yeah, I guess just to piggyback off of that, you had 8 different players with at least an assist. You had 9 players with 3 or more rebounds, 3 scorers in double figures. Jasmine had 9, so she was right there. You made more free throws than UNI attempted. I mean, it's just almost like you walk down through every category. You guys were on the right side of it.
Yeah, and I think, that shows a lot of growth, because in the past, like, UNI is a great team, but as far as, I guess, the name, Drake, we get hyped for that name, or we get hyped for Oregon State or Minnesota or whatever. And that's been, a constant battle with our team this year, and just coming out with the same intensity and same focus, same energy, no matter who we're playing. I think that's when great teams really show their consistency and really start to, trend up and shine. So I think we did a good job of that tonight. I just really liked our focus. UNI is a hard team to guard. They run a lot of stuff. They have shooters. Everybody can shoot it. Everybody can drive it. They're very versatile. They run some 5-out stuff. So there's a lot of opportunity for defensive breakdowns, and we had some, but for the most part, I thought we were solid. I thought we just were very positive with each other, very unselfish, and did a great job rebounding as well. We had 47 boards. So I just really liked how we played overall. I think it showed a lot of maturity on our kids' part, and it also was a really, really big weekend for us.
You mentioned in your opening statement about your concern after that magical ending to come back less than 48 hours later and play what has historically been right there at the top of the conference year in and year out. What was your message to the team? How did you get your message across of turning that around and being so focused today?
Well, it kind of went hand in hand with my message after every game and before every game this year, which is just being consistent. If we want to be a great team, then we have to carry ourselves that way. Great teams, they don't just overlook anybody. They respect all, fear none. So that was part of my message. But then also yesterday, as a coach, you got to get a feel for your team. And I think, having that emotional game and emotional ending, there's going to be a drop off. I mean, some of our kids didn't even go to sleep till who knows when, because their social media is going crazy and it's on SportsCenter, it's on this, it's that. So I knew that we couldn't practice yesterday. It had to be a mental day, a walkthrough day, a recovery day. So I did some things with strength and conditioning to recover. We watched film, obviously on UNI, and then we walked through coverages and put the game plan in, and then we had them just get off their feet. So it was more of a mental day just so that they could recover physically, but also emotionally, and just get focused for the game. And then we had shoot around and went through what we did yesterday, just more fast paced and kind of live, so they'd be prepared for the game. So I thought it was important just to manage their emotional state and their physical state, but the emotional part of it, because that's when you can have serious letdown. So we had gone in and tried to practice and move on. Like I don't think we would have been all the way focused.
Yeah, it seems like every time we have you in here, we're talking about somebody else's career highs. Today it's Abby Hipp with 15 points for a career best. Talk about, I guess, just kind of how balanced you are. It seems like every night it's somebody else that kind of shines.
Yeah, and I think you've heard me say that a million times. Like, you never know whose night it's going to be, and I think that makes us really hard to guard. Abby was great today, and it wasn't just 15 points. It was the 5 rebounds. It was the deflections. It was her leading. She was talking the whole game. She had great energy. And she's just kind of really getting back into that. She had some up and down games, but Abby is, like I've said it from the beginning, she's our X factor. Whether she's even having a good game or not, the energy and the focus and the leadership that she brings really helps our team. But today it was, her night. She got it going, and so we kept running plays for her so she'd get on the block because she was scoring and was really confident that way. But I also think Sydney Manning came in. I think we had 36 points off the bench, I believe. Sydney Manning came in, hit some big shots, had some great defensive possessions for us. Brought a lot of energy that way. Emily, she had the thing in the first half where she kind of got hurt but came back into the game, got her second foul, so she sat a lot in the first half. And comes in the second half and gets 10 rebounds, which were huge, giving us extra possession and also making them one and done on their side. So Emily came in. So I just think our bench really stepped up today. And I've said it a million times, we just need our bench to continue to get more and more confident and involved so that we can continue to make a run in conference and then postseason play.
You mentioned, in your statement too, that your team gets up for those name games. It's very easy to do that. Of course, this first weekend was one of 2 weekends where it's a name weekend in the Valley. Looking ahead, it's going to be a little while before there's a name brand. Does having a target on your back kind of allow you to send that message that you need to stay focused, or how do you kind of get that message across? Yeah, and I've talked about that. I even talked about that last weekend, that we're always going to get everybody's best shot. We're going to get their A game. Everybody wants to knock us off. We do have a huge target on our back. And Drake and UNI, those are 2 really high RPI teams. They've played some good teams in the non-conference, and they've been successful too. It was a huge weekend because it was the top 3 preseason pick teams playing. And I think, going 2-0 in that really kind of makes a statement that we want to make, but at the same time, the target just gets bigger and bigger. So we can't take anybody for granted.
We can't overlook anybody. We have to respect all, fear none, and we just have to be consistent. I mean, when you look at great teams, championship teams, that's what you see. You see consistency. We don't care who we're playing. You know, we don't care how the game's going. We're going to believe that we can win, that refuse to lose mentality, and we're going to, you know, play as a team. Share the ball. We don't care who gets the glory. As you can see, there's, you know, the stats were, I mean, the points were almost everybody who came in contributed somehow. So if we continue with that mindset and that unselfish play, I think that we could be pretty good.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.